So right now, I was just browsing around the street view of different African cities, and right now I am in Kenya. I am in somewhere in like somewhere in the capital. I don't know. It says Ruaka, Kiambu County. I don't know what that is. I kind of forgot. But yeah, I was looking over different cities in Africa, and I was like looking at. I was looking at how they were different to each other and how they looked, and also how it was like similar to like, let's say like Southern Europe. I was looking at places like Ukraine and stuff like that, which um yeah, I wanted to just see what kind of what it like sort of revealed about their like cultures. And I noticed that African cities, they are a lot more closed than like places in like Ukraine or like Moldova or something like that. 'Cause that's kind of like comparable. It's not really fair to like compare like I don't know like a city like Norway uh to like Senegal or something. That doesn't really say anything, and that's not really fair. But yeah, I was like comparing like similar-ish wealthy cities, and those are like where they like those are like similar cities. So I was comparing those, and I realized that like a lot of African cities are extremely like closed. They're like extremely a lot more like selfish with their with what they have. Like for example, like there will be a lot of like poor areas, and there will be like extremely like rich um uh rich like houses and like rich property and rich cars. And I don't know exactly why a lot of African cultures like do that, like this for example. I don't know why they like close off everything, and like they're like very guarded of what they have. They don't really like spread it around. I think one theory that I came up with is because of their maybe like Christian culture in the parts of in those like parts of Europe that make them want to share what they have to like their other like neighbors or stuff like that. And like I don't think Africa really has any of that, so they like don't really feel guilty about giving giving what they have, giving the wealth they have. So yeah, I'm not sure. That was one example. I'm just trying to find a wealthy kind of place. Yeah, this for example. Like if you see a wealthy place, likely they have extreme like large like walls and like gates and everything. And like the place around it, even though it's like their kind of community, they don't really like share it around. They will like guard what they have. Yeah, like this for example. They don't really like use it for the public, or, or like let's say like this like East African like culture. They don't really like use it for the public's like benefit. I realize this too for like sorry. I realize this too for like other African countries, like this for example, too. Like there's a lot of like walls. I realize this too for other like African countries who are like let's say like Muslim. I realize they're extremely like guarded too of the wealth they have, of like people's wealth. Because I think what my theory is that is like Islam is really more focused on your relationship with Allah Himself, like directly, and like kind of like giving charity to people who need it, not people who like could use it, like people who desperately need it. And so I think if they don't really like, I don't like, I think because Christianity is like focused on probably like giving to your neighbor, and like Islam is more focused on like giving to like extremely like very poor people, which I guess, I don't know, I guess that's good, but it's just interesting to see like the different kind of cultures. I don't think this is a I don't think this is a good idea though. That's probably why you don't see a huge like guarded like places like you see in a lot of Africa compared to some of Southern Europe that is a bit more poor. Eastern like Southern Europe that is like kind of comparably poor, but it's like a lot more spread out the poorer. So it's, and like these kind of African countries that are comparable, they're like very closed. The people who are like richer, the communities who are richer, they like block off what they have and they don't really like spread it compared to um, a lot of like places like Ukraine or something like that.